Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be discussing something long overdue, and that is the desync issues in Halo Infinite. Now, if you've played Halo Infinite, there's a good chance you have experienced some of these desync issues. If you haven't, good for you. Consider yourself one of the lucky ones. Just consider yourself lucky and go enjoy the game. No need to defend the game and act as if this isn't a real issue just because it hasn't happened to you or you just haven't noticed it, but it is definitely a very real issue. So what exactly do I mean by desync issues in Halo Infinite? Well, it's a combination of things, and I think people are more aware of some of these things over others, but the first thing I want to discuss is the getting shot around walls. So from my experience, and the experience of many others, there are a lot of times when we are playing Halo Infinite, and we will be getting shot at by an enemy player, but we will run behind a wall or any type of cover. We will block that angle we were getting shot at. And once we're behind the wall, or behind whatever piece of geometry we ran behind, we will still die, as if we were still out in the open getting shot by that enemy player. And this is commonly referred to as desync. On the enemy player's screen, the guy who was shooting at you, on his screen you might not have been behind the wall. On his screen, you were still out in the open where he had a shot on you. But I will say something that I have witnessed in Halo in the past, not in Infinite yet, but I have witnessed people actually shooting walls in Halo and killing players on the other side of the wall. Like, it wasn't even a matter of one of those players being behind the wall on their screen, but on the other player's screen, you were out in the open. Like, it's not even that. Like, I've literally witnessed people snipe the wall, the actual wall, bullet hole in the wall, and they kill somebody on the other side of the wall. But I don't think that's what's happening here in Halo Infinite. I do think this is a case of on one person's screen they were behind the wall, and on the other person's screen they were still out in the open. Now, desync is something that exists in pretty much every game, but the severity of it varies from game to game. Some of the worst offenders when it comes to desync, from my experience, have been PUBG and Destiny 2, and keep in mind, I played those games back around when they first launched. I don't know if the desync issues have been improved over the years, but back when I played those games, desync was so bad. Like, you would be behind a wall, just running away, and you're literally taking damage. Like, the sight line is cut off from the enemy player for like a couple seconds, and you're still taking damage. It was unbelievable. But now, after playing Halo Infinite, I can honestly say that I have never experienced desync issues that are this prevalent and this severe in any other game. When I play Halo Infinite, it feels like every other death is me getting shot when I am behind a wall. I mean, it is unbelievable how common and how severe the desync issues are in this fucking game. Now, I don't know exactly what is causing the desync issues to be as bad as they are in Halo Infinite, but that's also not my job to figure it out. That's on 343, and this should absolutely be their top priority. Fixing or improving the desync issues in Halo Infinite should be 343's top priority. Will it be? Probably not, but it absolutely should be. Playing this game right now with these desync issues is an awful experience. Again, if you're not experiencing these issues personally, all that means is you are lucky. You're lucky, or you're just not noticing the issues. It's not, oh no, there's nothing wrong with the game. There's no desync. Me and my friends haven't experienced that at all. Okay, then you and your friends are lucky or not noticing the issues. Because many of us are experiencing this severe desync in Halo Infinite. I mean, the desync in this game is so common and so extreme, I feel like I could go into a custom game and recreate me getting shot through a wall over and over and over again. Now, I did test some other things pertaining to desync in custom games with a friend, and we're going to get to that in a second. But when it comes to getting shot when you are behind cover, it could be a number of things that are causing this. I don't think it's related to your ping, because even in games where I have really low ping, the desync issues are awful. I don't know if it has to do with the tick rate of the server. I wonder if these issues persist on LAN. I have not experienced Halo Infinite on LAN yet, but again, that's not up to me to figure out. That's on 343. Now, another thing relating to desync in Halo Infinite that I want to discuss, and this is different than getting shot when you are behind cover, and this is something that did exist in Halo 3, in both OG Halo 3 and MCC Halo 3, and possibly some of the other Halo games as well, and that is this right here. So sometimes when a player is close to a wall, none of his shots will register on a player he is shooting at. And what makes that right there 10 times worse is the fact that the player he is shooting at, his shots will register. So it's like, it's bullshit, but it's like this one-sided bullshit. One player has none of his shots registering, and the other player, all of his shots landed do register. Now again, this is an issue that I can say for sure existed in Halo 3. Not really sure about the other Halo games because I didn't test them, but I assume that it probably occurs in those games as well. But listen, Halo 3 came out in 2007. Infinite released in 2021. That's 14 years later. I mean, Halo 3 did many things way better than Halo Infinite does, but things like this, like the shots not registering when you're close to a wall, these are things we should be looking to fix or improve. And this issue might be worse in Halo Infinite, the Halo game of 2021. I can't say for sure yet because I haven't done a ton of testing, but that's the thing. I didn't have to do a lot of testing because I could replicate this right away. As soon as I got into a custom game, it was so easy to make my shots not register. In Halo 3 when I did it, it took me a little longer to like set it up. In Halo Infinite, it was instant. I mean, the way I first noticed this is on the map Aquarius, and I wanted to see if from this door, if I could get an angle on these dynamo grenades here so that I could shoot the dynamo grenades and detonate them when people, try to push to pick them up. And you can get an angle on them, barely, but you can. But I noticed that none of my shots were registering on the grenade. So then I had a player stand there, and sure enough, none of my shots register on that player, but all of his shots will register on me. I also experienced this when we tested it bottom mid on Aquarius, and it was very easy to make it happen in that spot of the map as well. So this issue might actually be worse in Halo Infinite than what it was in Halo 3. Halo 3 has always been known to have a really bad netcode and a lot of desync issues. And it does have a lot of desync issues on both OG Halo 3 and MCC Halo 3. But what I am experiencing in Halo Infinite right now is way worse than the desync issues I've experienced in Halo 3, and that's saying a lot. I mean, these issues in Infinite are worse than I've experienced in any game. Now, the last thing I want to show you guys pertaining to desync in Halo Infinite, and this is something that some of y'all might not be aware of, and it might blow your mind when you fucking see this, because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Despite how many times I watched it, I couldn't believe this was a fucking thing. So, as I'm sure many of you know, meleeing in Halo Infinite is god-awful for multiple different reasons. And in my time playing Infinite, there have been multiple situations where I've noticed players meleeing the air. Like, I watch them beat down the air and I take damage. Now, for a while, I just thought this was a case of your typical desync where on their screen they're beating me down, but on my screen they're just beating down the air. That's what I thought was going on here. But upon further testing, I realized that you can just beat down the air. You don't get a lunge, right? You don't get a lunge. You just beat down the air, and your melee can connect with players that are almost completely off of your fucking screen. This game is really bad. In its current state, this game is really, really, really bad. For multiple different reasons, but just the desync issues alone, I can say this game is awful. everyone's talking about competitive Halo right now and competing and shit. And I'm just like, how? How? When this is the state of the game? Do you guys just not experience this? Like many of us do? Oh, we'll just get better internet. No, it's not an internet thing. I have gigabit internet. I experience these things in low ping games. You know, I keep seeing people say that they like Halo Infinite, they're enjoying the game, and that's fine. You can enjoy whatever you want to enjoy, right? I'm not here to gatekeep that or dispute that. If you like the game, you like the game. But, you know, I'm trying to judge this game as objectively as I can. And when I'm being fair and objectively reviewing this game, there's absolutely no way I can say this is a good game. I can't even say it's an okay Halo game. This is a terrible Halo game in its current state. And when some people hear me say that right there, that I just said Halo Infinite's a terrible game, like they think that I want Halo to fail. They think I'm just being negative. No, I don't want Halo to fail. I want Halo to be great. I've wanted Halo to be great for a long time. I'm not being negative. I'm being honest, okay? I'm being honest about the game. There are many reasons. I can back up what I'm saying. There's many reasons why I say this game is terrible. Like the lack of playlists, missing game modes, basically one ranked playlist, no service records, no pre-game lobbies, no Forge, missing custom game settings, bad UI, customization issues, god-awful theater mode, no Forge, no co-op campaign, no mission select. So many things this game launched with the least amount of maps out of any Halo game ever. I mean, you could just go on and on about this all day. There are so many things wrong with this game, including the desync issues. But despite all those things that are so wrong with this game, people will still sit back and say, well, you know, I like it. I like it. I'm having fun. I like it. And that's fine. I'm not mad that you're having fun. That's okay. If you're having fun, you're having fun. If you like the game, you like the game. But it's just hard to see how you can consider Halo Infinite a good game if you're being honest and impartial. And one last thing that I wanted to touch on real quick before we close this video out is cheaters in Halo Infinite. Because cheating is a very real problem in Halo Infinite. And in my Halo Infinite multiplayer review, at the time I said I didn't really know how big of an issue the cheating was at that time. But now, after having spent more time playing the game, I can honestly say this game does have a really bad cheating problem. I don't doubt that other games have a more severe cheating problem, but the cheating in Halo Infinite is really bad. In my time playing Halo Infinite, and I know this applies to other people as well, I've matched people aimbotting, I've matched people who have wall hacks, and from my experience, the cheating in this game is pretty frequent. And just like I said earlier pertaining to Desync, if you personally have not ran into any cheaters, again, consider yourself lucky, or maybe you just didn't notice that people in your game were cheating. And it's not always obvious when someone in your game is cheating. It's pretty obvious when they have an aimbot, but if they have wall hacks and they can see everybody through walls, well, you can kind of hide that. But from my experience and the experience of many others, the cheating in this game is way too common. So between all the weird desync issues and frequent cheating, playing this game has been an awful experience. Well, anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Again, this video is long overdue. This is a very real issue with the game, and I pretty much can't enjoy the game at all right now with the severity of the desync in Halo Infinite. It's an awful experience. You're behind a wall, you die, behind a wall, die, behind a wall, and I just don't want to play the game anymore. Hopefully 343 will improve this at some point. It took them a while to actually do something about the shot registration issues with Halo 3 MCC. Eventually, after a while, they finally updated that and improved it. But, that took a long time. And when I say a while, I mean they didn't update the shot reg in Halo 3 MCC until 2020. MCC came out in 2014. So it might be a very long time before 343 does anything to improve these desync issues with Halo Infinite, but who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us and do it sooner. I don't know. Probably not. Anyways, guys, hope you all enjoyed the video. Current state of Halo Infinite is god fucking awful, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.